2 feet for the stand, power lead, remote control instruction book pack, bit of poly, that is the TV from the front, side and the back. Okay, so we've got some paperwork, small owner's manual, quick setup guide, might have a look at just the dimensions on there, energy rating labels, self-tapping screws for the feet, 2 cable management guides, they will go on the back of the TV, you can guide the cables behind them, keep them tidy, and a mains power retention clip there. Also included, figure 8 mains lead with a straight connector to the TV and a UK mains plug. Briefly, just looking at the quick setup guide here, it gives dimensions from the 43-inch to the 50NANO80A. Also, some of the VESA mount sizes on the back of them there as well. AA batteries for the smart remote and the smart remote. Looking at the remote closely, power on and off at the top, channel number buttons, guide button, audio description and subtitles button, volume up and down, channels up and down, mute button, that says AI there, it's also voice command button, home button, your input button, back button, settings cog, coloured buttons for different apps and media playback. Then you've got quickfire Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, Rakuten, LG channels and Alexa. Flip it over, bit of pressure on there, AA batteries into the back. 2 feet, described as rocky black. They are marked A and B at the tops. Hook and a peg for locating, 2 through holes for the self-tapping screws to go through. Underneath, some simple rubber pads there, just stop it sliding about and marking any surfaces. TV is now laid on a large flat surface, as it tells you on the quick setup guide. I'm using the box because it's larger than the screen, so there'll be no pressure to damage anything. I'll drop the camera down, get those feet fitted. Okay, if I zoom in here, it's marked B for the corresponding foot. So marked B here, corresponding foot marked B. Got a hole for that peg to go into and a little square cutout for this to latch into, so it should in theory go there, and you kind of just twist it up like so. Then 2 self-tapping screws, I'll quickly whip those in. Nice and solid. Same for this side, marked A. Nice and solid. Get my hands either side of the screen, just gently underneath, tip it back and up. Looking at the connections running down the side, we've got HDMI 1 and 2 there. There are 3 HDMIs in total. USB 1 up here. HDMI 2 is enhanced audio return channel, so for an example, cable to your soundbar, turn the TV on, it will turn the soundbar on. It will also feed the audio information down that cable, and it will let the TV control the soundbar. So if you turn the TV volume up and down, it will turn the bar's volume up and down. Same for the AV, same for an AV receiver, amplifier and other devices, it will work the same. Terrestrial aerial in, satellite in as well for FreeSat. Then looking at the connections on the back here, you've got HDMI 3, USB 2 in, wired internet or LAN in. Then we've also got digital optical audio out. Looking across to the other side, we've got the AC or mains input. And looking at the back also, we've got the AC retention there. So that pops into that slot. And if I pop the mains cord in, it says wiggle that into the position. So we open up this clip here, and all it does is just retain that mains lead just to make it more secure. And the other thing, we can just see we've got two of these cable guides. So towards this leg here, we can clip that cable guide in. And if it's the mains lead we're bringing down, we can bring that down that leg there, and it just keeps the cable tidy. So from the front of the TV screen, you don't see the mess of the wires. Onto the dimensions, 50-inch model. Most notable thing, 2 wide feet is the pedestal, so I'll put a link somewhere, wherever it goes. And you can basically replace those feet with a universal central base. Nice and narrow, tilt, swivel, it can go on your stand. So click on that if you need it, but anyway, width of those is 85.5 centimeters or 33 3/4 of an inch. Depth of those feet, 23 centimeters or 9 inches. Whatever it stood on to the bottom of the TV, about 7 centimeters or 2 3/4 inches. Width across the top, 112 centimeters or 44 1/8 of an inch. At its thickest point, the TV, not including the feet, it's 57 millimeters. The VESA pattern, 200mm by 200mm. M6 bolts, probably 10 to 15mm. From the bottom of the TV to the centre of the first VESA mount hole is 22.5 centimeters. Okay, TV is now connected to wired internet, aerial and mains. There's no film protector on this model, not in the UK anyway. Just that bit of gumph about registering your guarantee on the front.
Press the OK button, wheel, on your remote.
Okay, we'll get rid of this voice in a moment.
OK. Language, English. The magic remote is connected successfully. To
That's the
proceed to the next
Bluetooth
step,
pairing
press
of
the
the
button at bottom
remote.
screen.
Alright.
Next, button. Country United Kingdom checked. Next, button. Accessibility settings after initial setup. You can access diverse settings via home, accessibility,
There we go, so I've turned that off. Whatever else can remain as it is. So here you can set it up. If you've got LG ThinQ app on your phone, you can set that up. It is worth downloading at a later date anyway. You can sign the TV in with it and download apps from the App Store, but this is in store. I'm just going to say next. That's my wired internet connected. It's also got Wi-Fi. And then here, is it going to do anything? Next. So I'm just going to select all, more, and agree, because it's in store anyway. Environmental analysis, I don't have any HDMIs connected. And I'm using TV only, so that's my terrestrial aerial. Put in your postcode for regional programming. To optimise sound, specify how it's installed. This is on a stand. Always ready, you can turn it off and it goes onto like a screensaver screen. I'm gonna let it go off totally because that will use slightly more electricity. Software, I'm leaving on automatic update. Some people turn that off, do it manually when they choose to. We've got antenna there and next. So digital only search. Smart retuning is if it's already been tuned in. Smart retuning just adds the extra channels. Okay, I'll pop back in 5 when this is complete. Quick message here about multiple numbers of tuned programs being duplicated. So that's because we're picking the same, say, BBC One up from 2 transmitters. So we sort that by saying what our region is. First region is England. Secondary region is where my aerial is facing. So for me, it's Yorkshire. Third region, Leeds. Quick word here about LG FinQ app sign-in. So like I say, it's free anyway, that app, so if you've got an LG TV you may as well download the app and sign in, and then you can access the app store and get more apps. Okay, so you can quickly choose some apps here to add to the home screen. I'm going to add iPlayer, Prime, scan the QR code to link your Prime account, and LG channels, Google Cast as well. Okay, and next. Okay, close there. Right, so before I do any settings or anything, I'm going to put it on retail mode just for the retail demos. Once I finish playing the retail built-in demos, I'll go back to home mode and do the settings. So onto all settings, down to support, and across to store mode. So picture's going to get brighter quite a bit. Didn't ask for live. And then we go to the media player. And we've got one demo built in. Okay, pretty cool. Looks good so far on bright stuff. So I'm just going to back out of there. And again. And put the TV back to home mode. So to settings. All settings. Eventually. Down to support. Okay, onto home mode. I'm going to go through some quick settings now. So to the settings, we actually have all the quick settings there we can adjust, but I'm going to go to all settings. Down to general. All the way down to the bottom you've got energy saving. So energy saving step, turn that off, because it's trying to adjust the brightness depending on ambient backlight, all sorts of things, but it's diminishing the picture to achieve that. Just going to adjust my camera. Okay, back again. Auto power off. At home I've actually got that on 2 hours, so if no one presses the remote for 2 hours, TV assumes you've left the room and goes out. Some people like that off altogether, but if you've got kids or teenagers, I set it to 2 hours because I know they walk around and leave the TV on. In store I'm going to put it to 8 hours so we can turn it on in the morning. It'll turn itself off in the evening or late afternoon. Back again. Okay, external devices, HDMI settings, CEC, I'm going to turn that on. It's defaulted to off, but CEC, if you turn your Skybox on, it'll turn your TV on automatically, or your PlayStation will turn the TV on automatically. Also, you need that on for your TV to use the HDMI ARC. I'm just going to back out of there and back again. Okay, what else we got? Picture settings. I'm going to take off power save and put it on standard for the demo. So a little bit brighter again. And back. And on sound, the only other thing, if I'm using HDMI EARC or ARC, so either feeding a soundbar or AV receiver, one thing that catches you out sometimes is down at the bottom, if it's an old device, you've got eARC support. If your device, sound device, is only ARC, turn that off and it won't do the enhanced version, it'll do the normal one, it'll cut out any distortion. Digital sound output, that wants to be set to pass through. So if you're watching something in Dolby Digital, Dolby Atmos or whatever, it'll feed the sound out in that format, because if not, it comes out in stereo most of the time. Okay, back again. And under support, you've got software update there. So I've got it on auto. At home, a lot of people turn that off, check what the new update is, then decide whether they want to install it or not. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to back out of there. Okay, quick look at the TV guide. It's a bit slow to load up, but it's getting there. Just mute that in the background. So BBC One there, we can see we've got that vertical orange line representing the current time. We can see what's on now and later. So it tells me in the background we've got QIXL, there you've got Midsummer Murders, New in Flight, Pompeii, so you can go up and down there, see what's on later. You can attach a hard drive and record as well, but you can only record, it's a single tuner on this model, so whatever you record you'll be watching unless it's on standby. You can record a program while you're out. You can also use the program up and down buttons there to go up and down the guide. If I wanted BBC News on 232, click on there, gives me the mini window, click on it again, he says, gives me full screen.
Panel again. On the argument,
right, I'll turn up the sound and shut my mouth.
Is there an argument that even though there's no evidence of fraud, just the fact that it's being raised undermines confidence in elections, so perhaps it should be restricted just for the sake of transparency being seen to be done in elections?
Well, it's not so much a matter of prohibiting or restricting mail-in voting as adopting security mechanisms so that the public can be confident that the election is being conducted fairly. There are Florida, for example. Florida is one of the leaders in the country when it comes to the use of vote by mail as one component of its electoral system. And pursuant to the system, of course, Republicans have won in Florida on a statewide level, right, in the legislature. But Florida also has several security measures in place at every step of the process, right? The state is not allowed to simply automatically send out actual ballots to everyone without getting a request. Rather, the state has to get an individualized request from a voter that is good throughout that election cycle so that the state can be sure, yes, this person is still alive, this person still lives in Florida, we're sending the ballot to the correct address, they want to get a ballot, they want to participate in this election. When they request vote-by-mail ballots, voters are required to provide identifying information, such as that is in...
I say that whatever Putin paid tuition for his KGB training, it paid off. He managed to convince the president to bring this back up. This is a losing issue for him. And yet Putin dropped this in his ear, and then just a few days later, here he is talking about it. It is bizarre to me. It's so transparent. The fact of the matter is mail-in voting as is.
Okay, quick bit of sports coming up. When it's done its update.
Stadium in Singapore, they take on the Italian champions, Juventus. Spurs include the likes of Dele Alli, Heung-min Son, and Toby Alderweireld in their starting 11. Juventus versus Tottenham Hotspur, a fixture many in his kind of area. Heung-min Son for Spurs, and can't sneak it in
terms of form from that moment on.
It's a Mandzukic great ball, and he directed it to the corner. And those two work it again. 4-on-3 here for Spurs. Son, well laid off, and Buffon makes a fine save. He's coming it in, but Eric Lamela. Troy Parrott denied on the first attempt, but Lamela is there to beat Buffon. Spurs have been the better team, and on the half hour, they lead Juventus. The foul to me on the edge of the penalty area, we play on.
I believe it was.
And Pjanic, Higuain, well worked, Gonzalo Higuain buries it. And he is a true finisher, and he's done it against Tottenham Hotspur before in the Juventus shirt. The man back from Chelsea has made it Juventus 1. DeCilio up against Walker Peters. A good cutback, and it's deflected into the net. And Ronaldo has his goal, and Juventus have turned this around. They now lead by 2 goals to 1. And there is the iconic celebration of Cristiano Ronaldo. She's up to win the ball in the Juve half, and what a pass for Lucas Moura. He's assisted the equaliser. Spurs are back level against Juventus. Great work by Ndombele, and Lucas Moura has stabbed it into the net. What an immediate impact. Brilliant work again by Walker Peters.
Well, he was excellent in terms of his hold-up play. I can see him being there was an opportunity here.
Kane, what a goal! What a goal to win it! Szczesny's caught out. Harry Kane has scored the goal of this tournament. That is extraordinary. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Juventus 2. How did he come up with that? Very special indeed. That is it. Tottenham Hotspur have won their first game of pre-season in the most extraordinary style.
Okay, credit to Ubisoft for this one. It's Star Wars Outlaws, next gen game trailer.
The Empire? They're everywhere. But the world here belongs to the syndicates. If I want to survive, I have to play their game. Looks like I'm all in.
She's in here somewhere.
On second thought, I'm out.
There she is.
I've been held back my whole life. And now, I just need a chance to finally be free. Wherever that takes me.
I'm here to offer you a way out, okay?
Get off my ship, Jalen.
Give me a chance. You're gonna have to trust me. It'll be dangerous, risky. But if you pull this off, you'll never look over your shoulder again.
The underworld shows no mercy. But it's a big galaxy out there, and I'm gonna risk it all.
Star Wars Brothers Outlaws, coming 2024.
Quick look at the home screen before I go. So go across to the left, you've got your profile there, notifications, settings. Click on it once, it'll take you to quick settings. Click on it again, you can go to all settings. Search there, guide, then you've got some headers there, news, sports, gaming, gallery, home office, etc. Go down one, these are the pre-installed. Go down to there, they're the pre-installed apps. You've got LG channels, some IPTV content there, Now TV, Netflix, iPlayer, ITVX, All 4, My5, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, LG Movies and TVs, Rakuten, Shoptime, Tubi, BBC Sounds, Gaming Portal, Live TV, Sports, Home Hub, Always Ready, Settings, Web Browser, add a cheap Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. You can do some basic web browsing. Media player, you can play back USB sticks, all sorts through there. Amazon Alexa, camera, I don't think there is a camera built in, but you can probably attach one. HDMI, because I've connected a Q box to it. Then going down, you can see recent inputs there. Free on LG channels. What else is on there as well? So loads of free content there on the LG channels. Featured stuff. What's on live TV currently, Tubi, now streaming from some different content providers, some stuff from Prime, Shoptime, Life's Good Hub, so loads and loads of content recommendation there. If you're bored, you can edit that list, make it your own as well. But all in all, it's not a bad TV, cost about 349 quid in the UK for the 50-inch model, which is pretty cheap really. It's not perfect, you can see the backlight bleeding through a bit, but it does bleed through in a uniform sort of manner. So it's not bad. I mean, the sound is actually almost decent. It's got a full range of sound there almost as well. Sounds nice and clear. So for 349, I'd say it's quite a good TV really. On the motion though, I could see it sort of almost blur and judder a bit on the football. But apart from that, that is all for now. Good-ish.